Kia ora, kia ora, kia ora. Guess who's back? Back in the house. Alright, I believe we are all sorted. Right. We want to go here. I know my buttons. Welcome back, everybody. It's now a lot darker. I am much refreshed. I had massively good dinner. Don't worry, it's decaf. We should really just make sure our light's in the right place. Sorry, I had a cat on the desk before, so everything's probably bumped out of place again as well. Anesh, hello, hello, welcome in. We are back again. So, we were streaming earlier. We had a wonderful time earlier. We managed to complete a whopping 9 pages earlier. And it was amazing. But I've decided I've had enough of what I was doing, which was the alcohol marker style pages. Sorry, I'm just playing with my lighting. I'm actually thinking I might go and turn my overhead light on. Madam, you are an unstoppable force. You know it, Alex. Shut that, then I can also turn on my heater. So yes, we did do 9 pages earlier today. It was a lovely time. We got lots and lots done. I've put the pages completely out of reach, but I can go get them if anyone does want to see them. But I decided, coming back, I wasn't in the mood to carry on with the alcohol markers, and I figured I feel like doing some ink tints, and I feel like working on this spread here. So I do need to bring up my reference. So this is Horseshoe Falls, which is the part of the Niagara Falls. We also have one in New Zealand, which is funny. Right, I want the Wikipedia page. That's what I want. Because the Wikipedia page, the image on it, is very much what I think the reference photo is being used from. So, yeah. Big gay snake, yeah! Big rainbow pride snake. Hi, Raven! Hello, hello again. Perfection! Hey! Ooh, love the rainbow! Yeah! I'm very, very, very excited to get back to this one. I just decided I was done with the alcohol markers, so felt like some ink tints time. So that's what we're going to work on today. So this is from Mythic World by Kirby Rosans. I should update the project command. I have not done that. I am so prepared. I had like 2 hours. And then I got distracted because there's a new colouring tag and I was doing all my answers for that. Whoops! I'll borrow that one to go B. Oh, why not copy it? That was dumb. Copy. Oh, that's why. The keyboard's not on. It helps. Oh, goodness me. Can you tell it's late at night and I'm a little tired now? I had such a good dinner, though. Mythic World by Kirby Rosans. I am using Duin Inkten stencils and Albert Dürer pencils, and then I don't know if I'm using anything else yet. Alright, that should come through in a moment, if it's all working. Rosalind, hello, hello. Here for a little while before I farewell the oldest for a week in the snow. Soon to be kid-free. Yeah! Exciting, exciting, exciting. I had problems with this page by accidentally smudging it with red Neo too. Oh no! I mean, maybe you just have a red snake then? Right, so let's look at this water and try and figure out colours. I think denim is going to be one of our colours. Which I already have pulled out because I was using it yesterday. I think that's denim. Yep, denim. And then we want some more greeny blue. I feel like down the bottom here uses a bit more greeny blue. But that's because the falls look more greeny blue, and then up there looks more like bluey blue. But I might mix it a little bit together as well. I'm going to pull out some dark aquamarine. Or maybe it's just called green aquamarine. It's 2:30 in the morning there. My goodness. It is currently 20 to 8 here. Yeah, we're just going to pull out some aquamarine. So we've got denim, we've got aquamarine. And then I think maybe a little bit of deep indigo. We're going to have to be like really careful where we put that. And then we're going to pull out some Malibu. And I think we'll play with those 4 colours for our water. While you were away, I did the background and almost completed one berg. That's fantastic perfection. Well done. That's a huge amount of work done on your page. Okay. So I definitely want a little bit more of the green aquamarine and the darker blue under the bushes. So we could start with there. I keep thinking of this problem and I'll have to fix it one day, or else I won't stop thinking about it. You will. But one day the solution might just come to you. That's often what happens with me, is I'll have a problem with a page and then one day an idea will just come to me, and then it's like, oh yeah, I could do this. And then that just fixes it, you know? Alright, so we've got a little bit of aquamarine, a little bit of dark blue, dark indigo. I'm going to make sure around the back of the snake is dark. So this is going to be another one that we activate by going dot dot dot. It's going to have lots of different blues worked into here. I do want to make sure the Malibu is our light, and our Malibu is also going to wash over our snake body here, because this part is of course snake, and then under the surface of it, that part I figure it's more on top, but this part is more like under it. So we are going to have Malibu going over, and because this is Albert Dürer, when I activate it, it will sort of blend together with the Inktense a little bit, and we'll also water it down a little bit. And then we'll come back in and we'll add in more white. So Malibu will be our last colour because we're just going to fill in the remaining. And then we just need to do a mixture of the green, the denim, and the dark indigo in certain points. And that's how we're going to kind of fill in this area. So I hope that makes sense. So like the darkest areas where Kirby's put the most shading, we'll put deep indigo, in particular around our snake as well. So our snake is casting a shadow on the water. bit under there. The green aquamarine is a little bit under the bushes to reflect that green that goes into the water. Malibu, my beloved, it is a beautiful colour. Right, I do need, we'll borrow the protection sheet. Use that. May need a double dose of coffee after 4 hours of sleep. I imagine so. I am also drinking coffee, but mine is decaf. But that is because I am caffeine free. Alright, I've missed a little section of indigo here, so I'll just fill that in. And then we take our denim, which is our more main blue per se. The Malibu and the denim is our two sort of main blues. I think they did a really good job introducing those new colours. There were no close matches and they complement the existing 72 well. They really do. Yeah, no, and it was definitely needed. I mean, there's still a couple of gaps in their colours. Obviously, any sort of lighter tones would be amazing, although you can lighten them, as we all know. They're missing a peach. You can make a peach. I've made a peach. But a pre-made peach would be amazing. It's the one colour that they're really missing is something in the peachy tones. Yeah. Hello, Jennifer. Hello, Nif. How are you going, huh? Welcome back. We're back. We're back again. And then, as I said, we take Malibu. We hit our water bottle 100 times, apparently. But Malibu's our all over. Just fill in the rest of the water colour. And I think in theory that should work. And then how we activate it will also be a big part of this. And then it should in turn create the illusion of a multiple coloured water. But I think so far I'm liking the way the pencil's looking on the page anyway. Like, I think y'all can see we've got a bit of different colours and textures in there. Alright, and go back over the top of the snake. So I'm just worrying about the top half right now. Yeah. No colouring done, but I did take the wolf out, so still productive. Absolutely. Wolf. The wolf. Yeah. How is everyone? How is everyone? That's a very good question. I need to use my Inktense more. They have been sitting in their tin ever since I brought them and used them in one page. I love Inktense. I love Inktense. I think you can do amazing things with them once you find your groove with them. They're definitely... I've said it before, if I could only ever take one set of pencils, I would take Inktense because I can do so much with them as one set of pencils. If I was allowed to take a basing set of pencils and a normal set of pencils, I would take Inktense and Polychromos because the two of them together, fabulous. But yeah, Inktense on their own, I love. Yeah. Tired at work? Yeah. Damn autocorrect. That's okay. Most of us speak typo. Also, perfection. Be right back. I'm off to cook dinner. If you're still on, I'll send you progress in my page when you're back. Fantastic. Well done cooking dinner. Go do the adult things. Proud of you. Now, Do It needs to release a muted counterpart to Inktense tool exclusives. I think there are some muted. There's the Graphitant ones, which have the graphite in them, so they're like more greys. There is that range, but yeah, I would like more muted, though. Again, you can power them down, but they're still vivid colors, so yeah. I want more colors. Look, I'm selfish and I like the Inktense a lot. I want more colors. I want even more colors. It's Muffin's birthday, or give them extra scratches from me? Just before I went live, Shadow came and joined me on the chair, and so I gave him some scratches while he was standing behind me, and then he jumped off, so hopefully he's gone to bed and will not keep disturbing us. But yeah, he's definitely looking for warmth and looking for me to go to bed. And I'm like, not today, Shadow. Today is stream day. Oops, I'm completely off the side of the page. You couldn't even see what I was doing there. It's so professional of me. Haven't you heard I'm a professional streamer? I do things like colour off the side of the page so you can't see what I'm doing all the time. Oh, if you missed it, this is actually the second time I've gone live today. I was live earlier today. We completed 9 pages on stream. We started a 10th and then I stopped for dinner because dinner was ready. I decided I wasn't in the mood to carry on with our alcohol markers that we were doing earlier, so that is why we are switching to Inktense and working on the Rainbow Snake page. Alright, that's the first half all coloured in. Might zoom out a little bit so you can kind of see. I think it'll work. So we'll just do that second half while I got the technique down. For up the top, down the bottom is going to be entirely different. But we'll get the top half done. It's justifiable after so many hours of streaming. Yeah, well, we did stream for 8.5 hours earlier. And then we'll see how we go tonight. It also depends on like when Mum goes to bed. Although she doesn't have to get up early. I do have Pathfinder tomorrow, so I do have to be up at like 7:30, but yeah, I'm still in a productive colouring mood, so I want a bit more dark down there. And then we have a bit of the green coming out of the bushes. I need to trim my nails. It's getting to the point where they almost like stab me when I'm holding a pencil now. Which is wild to say considering I used to be a nail biter and now my natural nails are that long. So, but yeah. I kind of want to put polish on them, but because I'm having anesthesia at the end of the month and I know they don't like you wearing nail polish and I don't like using nail polish remover because it makes my fingers itchy, so I'm like, oh well, natural nails until the end of the month. Hi, Ada! No, I decided I'm done with markers and we've switched to Inktense and my Rainbow Snake page. Oops, off the screen again. Good professional, Amy. I also take Inktense and polys any day. Yeah, it's just such a good combo. Yeah, so we're working on Mythic World by Kirby Rose Arms. I started this Rainbow Snake page a while ago. And now we're just trying to get our water done. So I've got an idea for how to do the water, and I'm using Inktense to do that. So right now I'm just getting all the colors down, and then we have to still activate, but you know, getting all the color down first. How is everyone going? For those that I've just seen a few hours ago, I hope you've had a good couple hours break since I last saw you. How's your colouring going, or your other activities? Like, I know some of you had like adult responsibilities like washing to do. I hope you managed to get it all done. I might actually have to sharpen this Malibu. So hopefully when we activate, it'll look good. And I'll come in with some white Prisma Posca at the end to really bring some white highlights back into this water, but for now I want to make sure I get that blue tint. I love how confident you are with the Inktense. I just used them on my second page, even made an absolute mess. I think a lot of it's just practice. I've used them a lot, so I feel confident with them. I'm more confident with the Inktense than I am with the Albert Duras. Never thought of Inktense and Polys together. Inktense as a base and Polys to do more detailed shading is fantastic. I will be probably pulling out Polys just to deepen up the shading on the snake for the scales and stuff like that. But also Inktense is just such a quick way to like fill in the water. Right. Speaking of the water, we're now going to do the same technique down the bottom here. I am going to try and use a little bit less of the dark blue because the water is shallower here, and lean more into the green here. So there's still going to be a bit of dark blue, dark indigo, sorry. I should use the actual color names. Because there is still some dark areas. So we do have some areas of dark blue, but not quite as many. Put a little bit around the boat. And we're really not going to work it around here where we're going to fade it out. And then we're going to pull out our denim, which was our blue. It was more of a main blue at the top. We're going to use it as a secondary shadow color here. So there's going to be a lot more gaps down here in terms of the color. Yes, you love the Albert Duras because you can activate them a little bit after first activation. Well, Inktense scares me because you can't. I like the Inktense because I like the way it settles into a page. Ink drops differently than watercolor. Watercolor tends to sit on the surface, which is why you can reactivate them, whereas the ink drops down, and that dropping and the way it layers on the page, I feel more confident in maneuvering that. And again, I think it just comes from practice. But yeah, I would rather do ink. And I like working with liquid inks more than I like working with liquid watercolors, for example, for backgrounds and stuff like that. So, yeah. And I think, again, a lot of it just comes from practice, but I'm more confident working with ink than watercolor. I'd like to, I think I'd like to try actually doing a full page in liquid inks, but I've still got a couple more colors I'd like to source first. Right, so now we're going to use our green aquamarine, and like I said, this is going to be a little bit more of a main color down the bottom here. So we're going to be a little bit more greeny where the water is shallower, just to sort of represent a different depth in the water. But we're still going to have our Malibu as sort of like our main. Oh look, I have a red mark here from something. That's fine. I'll just put a bit of it Malibu, green aquamarine there. Can blend it in. Alright, and I'm not worrying about the mist too much for now. I have an idea for the mist, but I'm going to do that afterwards. For now, I'm just worrying about the more flat sections of water. And then we'll come back and do the mist. With Inktense seal in the other watercolors once they dry, yes they will. They should kind of force them to drop down a bit more. In theory. I haven't actually worked Inktense on top of other watercolor before, but we're going to try it. Alright, once again, Malibu as our main over the top. Why did that just skip backwards? Weird. Okay. And then, final area to go over with the Malibu. Waterfall itself. But we're going a bit lighter in some areas with it. Come on. Okay. Whew. The only thing not based is the cloud, but again, I'm going to come back to that one. I've got an idea. I've got ideas, folks. We'll see. Right. Semi-big brush, but not overly big. This is a number 4. It's bigger than I'd normally use. Let's get rid of that. Let's actually get some... I'll just use you. You'll do. I have more than enough napkins around. You'll do the job. Okay. So, we'll start with up the top. So you could use a water brush. I prefer the control of an actual brush. Again, it's just preferences. I'll bring you right into the corner. So my idea for this is we're going to use horizontal motions and follow the direction of the water and start blending together our colors without moving it around too much. We want to activate it, but we also don't want to like drag the color too far. We just want to drag it a little bit so that we get all those beautiful little textures and differences that we put into the water. Cassie, hello, hello. This looks pretty. Thank you. This is Kirby Roseanne's Mythic World. It's a waterfall. It's Horseshoe Falls, and we've done Rainbow Snake. I've just coloured all the water, and now we're going to start activating the water. I'd already done the snake, so... So we're doing a bit of an experiment. See if this technique works. Because, as per usual, I'm just kind of making it up as I go along and hoping for the best. But in my head it works. Watercolor pencils? No, Inktense pencils. Although some of the Rainbow Snake has been done on watercolor pencils. But the majority of it is Inktense. The watercolor pencils are under here because I wanted them to reactivate when I did the water so I could fade them down. Because I want the snake bright, but I want under here not so bright. Right, make sure we get right under. And see if I want to, when I've got extra on the brush, I can just bring in more of a certain colour deep in areas. But I feel like we're getting sort of splotchy water up there. See, now we're starting to get all those different colours coming in because there's a little bit more colour variation down here and it's a bit more intense. But yeah, I think I like that. I think I like the effect of how this is going to look. For anyone that is interested in Inktense, Amazon Prime Day deals are on and some of them are on sale. Oh, good to know. I wouldn't mind one day getting the actual blocks, although I don't think the blocks come in all 100 colours. So, I don't think there's much point then. Same with like the pans of them. It's like, might as well just stick to the pencils. So when I did the bushes, I did also leave a little bit of green residue. That's why I did put the green aquamarine under there, so it would mix with the green that was already left by the bushes and create a bit more of a greeny effect but in the water. I also have to be really careful because my coffee cup is right next to. And we don't want to put our paintbrush into our coffee cup. I've done that a couple of times. Considering getting a 100 pack, it's 160 instead of 250. That's pretty good. But also shouldn't be spending right now. That's also a point. I mean, I built mine up pencil by pencil. So mine costs, my set cost a lot more because it was, you know, I was buying the pencils individually, so $4 or $5 a piece, and then I was gifted the last colours from when they expanded the 28 colours, which is very grateful for because I couldn't get them here. I still can't get the new colours here. But yeah, I love them. Delicious coffee paint. Just had a horrendous epiphany that it is the same colours as the Mountain Dew packaging. Oh my goodness. It's funny though when those things hit you sometimes. Subconscious advertising. Alright, so I'm soaking the page. We're not doing too badly with coming through, which is good. I think that'll work. Especially when I bring a bit of white back into it. And I can always come in and like manually darken up some areas or lighten up some areas because I can pull some colour directly off and like apply it directly in if I really want to deepen some areas. I think they should do what Faber-Castell are doing with the new colours, just have the new set of 2028. I believe they do because you could get them from... I know there was a store in the UK that I was contemplating buying them from and getting them shipped to New Zealand from, and you could buy just the 28 set. That water looks so freaking real. Thank you. Looks like it's wet. I mean, it is wet, but yeah, I think I'm happy with it. For my, like, I think this will work. It makes sense in my brain idea. So I'm not colouring over the snake yet. I'm just focusing on doing the water. I love the sentence that water looks weird out of context. Yeah, YouTube also did not like that sentence, so I had to go in and say, yes, this sentence is okay, YouTube. In the context, it's appropriate. But YouTube often does that. And then sometimes it just holds things and I'm like, what? Why are you holding this? It makes no sense to me at all, but whatever. Set art text when you're ready. You finish the page? Fantastic. Well, I've got a good opportunity to pause here because I'm halfway through. Also, you can see the difference between activated and unactivated. They're definitely called Inktense for a reason. Yeah, no, I'm very happy with that water. I think that is what we want. Oh my gosh, Cassie, that's gorgeous! You did it so quickly as well. Inktense. I love Inktense. Look at Cassie's cute page. I love the background. I love the, like, you know, hyperspace look. I tried to make it look like it's going into hyperspace. I love it. May I give you one tiny, tiny little piece of feedback? I love it. I really, really love it. There's one thing I want to point out to you. If you have a ruler and a black ink pen, go over the string of the balloon, because the hyperspace lines are going on top of the string of the balloon, but the string should be in front of the hyperspace because he's holding it. Only if you want to. That's the only thing I was like, ooh, 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 ooh. But I love, love, love how the effect of it is. Oh, yes, I didn't notice. Yeah, no, that's okay. It's just the first thing my brain saw was that line. It was like, ooh, but I love, love, love. And I think once you do that line back over, it will read even more as hyperspace because it will actually give it depth. So it will make it look like it's moving to a point and it will build that depth even more. But yeah, it's stunning. You've done such a good job with it. I love the background. I never would have thought of doing that sort of hyperspace look, but it really works. Also, wish I didn't do the white stripes leading into one spot. I think I should have spaced out a tiny bit in the middle. Well, you could always go back over the center of it with the alcohol marker. It will go light blue, but it would tone it down a little bit. You could try it out. I mean, if you don't like it, you can always go back over it with white. But I like it as well. I think it kind of helps it lead to a point. Again, it does build a lot of depth. But yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. I think it looks really, really cool. And it's so cool how it's like monotone, but then you've got that bright blue in the... It's not bright blue, but you know, it's like bright compared to all the grey. I also love all the little light reflex on the metal. It makes it look all shiny. Shiny, shiny. Fantastic job, hun. Fantastic job. So good. So, so good. Alright. Second half. Which is going to be at a weird angle because this is what's the most easiest way to do it. Oh, wrong way. Alright, we're going to move our water to this side. We're going to move our coffee cup back over to that side. I'm going to go in and edit it a bit now. Oh, good. Good old gold pens, yes. I wish I had more places to buy art supplies here in New Zealand. There is more popping up, but yeah. But that's okay. It's not like I got the money to spend anyway. Look, I'd just be happy if a Kmart opened in my town. Altiendo! Hello, hello. Just passing away on my way to bed, but I haven't seen for so long. I had to say hi. I'm doing good. I'm 1 week post-op today, and I'm feeling pretty good. We've actually technically been streaming since about 11 hours ago, but we did take a 2-hour dinner break in that. So I've just gone live again. But yeah, we had like a really productive day where I did lots and lots of colouring pages and then took a dinner break, and we've just gone live again, and we're working on a page in Mythic World, the Horseshoe Falls page. And I'll just finish this little section and then I can twist it and show you. But how are you going? On the way to bed, obviously, but yeah. It's so good to see you. It has been a while. I did get sick there for a while, so I didn't stream for ages and ages too, which doesn't help. Thank goodness that cold's over, because, oh. Right, we're still in view. We are. Okay, we can kind of pause it there. And then I can go back to here and do the Malibu activation. You just got your second coffee? Nice. I'm having a lovely cup of decaf. It's good and warm. I wouldn't drink coffee at 8 PM at night even if I was still drinking caffeine. There's no way I'd sleep. Though, that being said, I felt like coffee didn't affect me too much. What I've realised, because I'm caffeine free now, but there has been a couple of times where I've drunk caffeine. So when I was in the hospital, I had a caffeinated coffee because that's all they had. When I was like half asleep, I accidentally made a coffee with my mum's coffee instead of my coffee one day, so I had caffeinated coffee. What I'm realizing is that while I don't necessarily feel more awake with the caffeine, I do feel more anxious. That's been a big thing I've learned. So yeah, so that's been a huge and really good effective change, is stopping the coffee. I love how this is looking so far. I'm very pleased with the result of that. Like, I really do feel like we've got that water, and then when we bring the blues down over here, I think it's really going to come together. Yeah. I love what you're doing with the page. That's an issue for me. It's now a difficult time imagining the page any other way, and I go to colour it. Well, you're welcome to do a rainbow snake on the page too, because I think it's fun. I mostly did a rainbow snake because I was like, I want to bring in colour, and it's going to be a lot of blue and a little bit of brown and green otherwise. So where can I put in colour? Rainbow snake. Care to share the coffee with a full-on American working the night shift Raven? I mean, I'll give you mine, Ilex, but it's decaf, so I don't think it'll help. coffee for all. If only we could, like, you know, press a button and share things across the internet. Like, be like, oh look, I've got a whole bunch of mandarins, and you press a button, you can send out mandarins to people. Be wonderful. It would help with shipping so much, wouldn't it? Like, you could go online and go, buy this, and then it could transport immediately to you because it's just digitally sent. Oh, the dream. The dream! Charlie and the Chocolate Factory vibes. Exactly. Exactly. Now, unfortunately, it did saturate the paper a little bit, so there was some bleed through, but it's fine. I'll deal with that when I do the next page. It's on me for saturating. I do tend to saturate my pages. Shift to GDS to try and get some colouring done. Fingers crossed. Sniff. I do find I would definitely get a lot more colouring done at my desk than I do in my bed. Gosh, I just realised something. If I finish this, that means I get to update my tracker of completed pages today to 11. Plus, I get to finish off a whip. Ha 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 ha. Alright, and then we work down the side here. So I'm going to activate a little bit on here because I want to bring that green in. Go. That's where it gets a bit darker up the top there. Okay, much happier now. Fantastic, Cassie. Oh, freshly ground and brewed espresso, Raven. Sounds divine. Yeah. Yeah, it's such a little detail, but it makes such a difference to the page, Cassie. It's brilliant. So immediately, because that line's there, now you've got that depth in the with the background. It looks like you've also lightened up the background dots a bit, eh? Yeah, no, I really like that. I think that just pops so much more, hun. It looks so good. I was wondering why the chat was moving so slowly. I was watching the stream in the past. Oh no, Alex. The curse of YouTube and it not going to the live point immediately. Yeah. And neaten up the white lines and add a few more highlights. There you go. No, I like that. I like that a lot, Cassie. That looks really, really good. Just that little touch more. And it's perfect. Well done. Well done. Love, love, love. Alright. I will wait a few years until I forget how you colour it and then I can take my own take on it. Sometimes people colour something I love and that's the only way I can see the page. I do get where you're coming from, Artsy Endo. I have a couple of pages that I can't touch for that reason because I still can't see it any other way than a certain way that it's been coloured. Might do it rainbow somewhere. Yeah. Rainbow, rainbow, rainbow. We love rainbow. It's such a cute page. Cassie did such a good job. So cute. Very cute. Yeah. Yeah. No problem, Cassie. Thank you for letting me give the feedback. I always feel sad, like I don't like to come in and go and critique it because, you know, it's about celebrating the creativity, and it was really, really good. It's just one little detail, and like it would have so much more depth. So thank you for letting me also pass on that feedback. I do appreciate it. The stream lags for a second at random intervals. Maybe go to the settings and turn the quality down to the next lower setting. So for example, if you're on 720, drop it down to, sorry, if you're on 1080, drop it down to 720. That might help. Yeah. That's why I love sharing, because everyone has different ideas. It's very true, Cassie. It is one of the great things about like the collaborative nature of sharing it live and, you know, getting to chat about it live. I love it. Love, love, love it. And I do love that page so much. It's very cute. Right. So now we're going to start working down the bottom. So the same idea as up the top is what we're going to do down the bottom. It should be a little bit more on the greeny tealy side, because we've got more aquamarine and Malibu down the bottom than we do at the top. We still have a little bit of darker colors and the deep indigo and the denim, but we have a lot more of the green aquamarine and the Malibu down here. So in theory we should get a slightly different tone to represent the fact that it's a bit shallower of a water down here. Well, in theory, you know, top of the falls, bottom of the falls. I want it to have slightly different tones, because the reference picture I'm looking at has slightly different tones, so trying to replicate it a little bit. Gonna make some dinner. Oh, good. Yeah, with YouTube, if you're watching a stream and there's that live button, I can show you. We'll show you behind the scenes. I'll just cover up that bottom bit just in case. But there's this live button down here, and if there's no red dot next to it, you're not live. If there's a red dot next to it, you're live. So that's an easy way to jump into like making sure you're live. Just pressing that button and it will skip ahead. Watching myself and myself is very weird. Okay. So we're going to make sure we do start fading out our blue. So where I've got the Malibu edge, I'm just going to make sure it sort of fades out a bit. I think we have managed to pull off the different tones for the bottom to the top. Like, that's feeling very different, but still the same. Like, we've still got that same variety of color and texture, but we've got a more lighter tone, which is exactly what I'm after. Yay! My random idea worked. So if anyone's watching, they're like, what was this color mixture again? It is deep indigo, green aquamarine, denim, and Malibu are the 4 colors. And of those colors, 3 of them are from the new 28. So you do need some of the newer colors, unfortunately. Though you might be able to get away by swapping, for example, green aquamarine with aquamarine and a little bit of green. Deep indigo is the original 72. Malibu's kind of a unique color. You could use iris blue and mix a little bit of green, but yeah, it's going to be a bit harder without Malibu. Denim, again, you could probably take Lagoon and mix some green in. As per usual, saturating the page. That's okay. I had an idea. If I have a random splotch in the middle of a colour of Inktense, do you think it will get less noticeable if I go over it with the original colour, or could it make it worse? I think it would just make it more intense, because it will sink down further. So it's red in the middle of what colour? Because depending on the color that's around it, is it like a light blue, for example, that's around it? Is it a dark? Is it a, you know, is it brown and you could just blend the red into the brown? It's purple in the middle of like a nice light pink. Okay, so you could take the white Inktense and color over with the white and see if you can lift some of the purple out with the white. It would at least pastelize it to a more appropriate pink tone. You might even then be able to bring in a bit of the pink on top of it. Otherwise, yeah, pink and purple do blend together at least really nicely. So you could just also blend in the purple to the pink. At least it's not like red and blue, you know? That's okay. I'm not 100% sure if it will work, but that would be what I would be likely to try. And then at least you could pastelize it. I don't often use the white ink tint, so it's not a colour that I naturally think of. But, you know, it does pastelize, so... And it will at least drop down to the area like the original purple that's dropped down. Fingers crossed for you. Also a good point. Also a very good point, Artsy Endo. Yes, you can absolutely try erasing first, just in case there is any inactivated pigment. And lift off what you can. Because, yeah, make life easier for you. Thank you, Artsy Endo. See, again, this is why I love live streaming and collaborative. Because together, come up with all sorts of ideas. Alright. Time to saturate the page. It's not my intention to saturate the page, but I am saturating the page a little bit. But that's okay. That's part of the process for me. Again, I am very heavy-handed with my water when it comes to certain areas. And it's fine. Yes, if you have opaque beads or something like Prisma, you might be able to cover it. Nothing is, depending on what you could add purple in different spots so it looks intentional. Also true. There's always a way to fix something. I believe genuinely that there's no such thing as like a ruined page. It's just maybe you need time to figure out how to fix it. There's always a way to fix or adapt or work something on the page. Yeah. I think I left my... Oh no, there's my water bottle. I was about to say, I think I left my water bottle in the lounge, but I didn't. So many ideas. Artsy Endo is brilliant. Welcome back, Cassie! We have activated a lot of water. So yeah, I do want to come in and like spot darken a couple of areas because we did lose some of our more intense darks. So I am going to come in and like deepen a few areas, but I really like the effect of the water so far. And we have got a more green tone down here compared to our more blue tone up here, which is exactly what I wanted. Right. Next step. Rainbow snake. So this is where I need to activate on each color because I don't want to drag the color across, because this is done in watercolor pencils, so this is reactivatable. And I want that so when the ink comes in, it can drop down into it and like blend and merge and drop that watercolor down a bit. And like our yellow here is turning slightly green. That's exactly what I want. I want to have that color blend, but I also don't want to drag the yellow over to the pink. So we are going to have to do this section by section. So this will probably take longer to activate than the actual water sections above. It's looking incredible. Thank you so much, Cassie. I am very pleased so far with how this is progressing. I think this is gonna work, y'all. So I'll bring you in so you can kind of see how it's looking on the where I have activated it. So you can see here where I've activated it, and because I left all those white sections where I've left it white, it's gone more blue, I think. And we've got like a little tint of colour, so it is seeping in and pushing the colour down. I think it's gonna work. Yeah. I don't think I've ever tried to do a rainbow page before. It seems intimidating. Not really, as long as you pull out your colours and just do it bit by bit. It can take a bit of time because it's a lot of colour changes, but yeah, step by step, bit by bit. I love putting rainbows into pages. Turning the heater on just to take the chill out of the air. I'm just going to run it for a couple of minutes. Can just feel it's getting a bit chilly. So here's where it gets real easy, because this teal colour is so close to the actual colour of the water that that part will blend beautifully, because it's like basically the same colours. Meds o'clock for me. If anyone needs any photo, I mention it. Perfect. Thank you so much, Ada. I am not due them myself, but it is a wonderful reminder for everyone to check in. Is anyone else due meds? Do you need to take your meds? Do you need to have some water? Do you need to have a little stretch? Should we do a little self-care check-in? I could probably do with a stretch. May have to try it. I do find it hard to go away from traditional colours for my pages, so there's nothing wrong with wanting to do traditional as well. You know, again, no wrong colouring. Oh, I'm doing 15, so I'll take it now. Perfect. There you go, Ada. Thank you so much. Just stretching my feet as well. Might stand up for a minute. Oh, oh. Oh, crack goes a few more bones. Okay. That was a good idea. Little self-care chicken. Right, got a little bit of green here to reflect. Just gonna do on top to the edge of the paper. Just had a self-care break. Made some paper airplanes for my mum to throw for the puppers. Or still no colouring done, but that sounds fun. And you know, sometimes you gotta... Yeah, I think I like how that's coming together. Oh. Get some unactivated deep indigo above. I'll just smush that out so it doesn't blend in. And that green has started bleeding there. Because I was trying to do too big of a section. Because it's like, I want this bit done. Don't have to rush it, Amy. Oh, I'm starting to get a little sore. But not like go to bed right this instant, but yeah, it's not going to be a late night, I think. Still glad I went live again to carry on with this. Did not know at the start of the day we were going to be working on this page, but sometimes you gotta go with the mood. Hope we're all doing well out there. I hate this Fitbit sometimes. Thank you so much, Rosalind. I appreciate that. We are on the home stretch now. The page, of course, is absolutely saturated. Like, quite a bit of bleed through, but it's fine. Alright. One saturated tissue later. I like that. We're still gotta do the water spray, but I like how that's progressing. Oh, Amy, I was telling Mum about your slow-cooked chicken dinner. I think we're going to try it. Yeah, it's very, very tasty. I did put a photo in the Discord in noms and ramen and other nom-noms. It was very, very good. I ate way too much. And it's easy. I mean, you don't have to go, like, so fancy with all the roast veg and stuff. It's just as good with, like, boiled veg and stuff, too. Yeah. Alright. Ooh, something we haven't used for a little bit. Hairdryer. I'm now just going to force the pages to get a bit more dry and do a bit of a hairdryer blast with them. So I'll just put you guys on mute while I blast away with the hairdryer. Alright. Nice and dry. My plan is to put all the veggies in the slow cooker with the chicken and make it like a chicken stew casserole type thing. Yum! It would almost be like a chicken pie filling in a way. In fact, if you have leftover, you could just turn it into chicken pies. That would be yummy. Alright, so water splooshy area. The splooshy sploosh. Ooh, I need something that's on the ground. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh. Managed. How to cook the chicken? Well, my mum cooked it, but what she did was she took chicken breast, chicken boobies, chucked them in the crock pot. It took instant gravy sachets, made it up per the sachet, and just poured it on top. And then we slow cooked it in the crock pot all day. So the chicken breast went in whole, just dumped in, gravy on top. So instant gravy made up, poured in, slow cooked all day, and then when it came time to serve, she just took a fork and shredded it, and that was it. And it's so beautiful and tender. It's like I'd rather have that than a roast chicken. And then she boiled some potatoes, which I mashed, and then she made some roast parsnip, roast pumpkin, peas. Was yum. It was kind of like having a roast chicken meal, but without all the effort of having to roast a chicken. And like I said to Mum, it's one of my favourite. She doesn't even have to like roast the veg on the side, just like boiled potatoes and some peas is totally fine by me for that meal. It's delicious. Yeah, so easy and way more tender chicken. Exactly. And because Mum and I both have bad teeth, it's just so good for us and our teeth. Way easier to eat, and yeah, really tasty. Sounds like a healthy way of cooking it and adding flavour. Yeah, well, especially if you get like a reduced salt gravy and stuff like that, you know. What pencils are you using now? I'm using Inktense pencils. So I've just coloured directly onto a water-soluble palette because these are water-soluble pencils. And I'm making up a little bit of watered-down ink. And this is how we're going to colour in here. So we can get like a really pale colour. And we don't have to colour in the whole way. And I'm just going to be dotting it in. My traditional dot, 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 dab, dab, dab. And this should add in a bit of blue while still leaving in a bit of the white. And we can make some darker colours for more intense Malibu areas. And we can leave it lighter for some lighter areas. And that's my idea for how to do the foamy water bits. I'll bring you right in. You can kind of see the effect. Hopefully that kind of makes sense. Put the potatoes in with it, and a bit later put some broccolini and stuff so it's all cooked in the gravy. Good idea, Cassie. I love a good crock pot dump meal as well. think that kind of reads as sort of like the spray foam at the bottom of the snake, bottom of the waterfall, right? I might go over the black lines and remove the black lines. Or at least some of the black lines. Looks foamy. Yeah. How long do you think you'll stream for? Probably not too long. I might aim for about 3 hours. We're at about an hour and a half right now. I'll see how I go. I am starting to feel a little sore. This is also coming together way quicker than I thought it would. So, I don't know. But, yeah, I'll probably aim for about 3 hours. And that will put us, another hour and a half will put us to 10:30. So we might not even make it to 10:30 to be honest, but yeah. This is coming together way quicker than I thought it would though. I'm also realizing it looks quite yellow on screen. Even though I've got all the white lights on. It could be because I've got my... No, that's a white light too. Might have to look at my colour settings tomorrow. Could just be my eyes. My eyes do get tired this time of night. The wonders of Inktense. Oh, yeah. We'll dry off this first, though, and see what it looks like dry as well, because, of course, when things are wet, they can look very different. That's why we like to dry it off. Time to flip through my books to see if I want to color anything else. Ooh, exciting. Tried with the white ink tints. Let's let it dry and see what happens. Fingers crossed for you, Ada. Alright. This looks amazing. Thank you so much. I'm going to put you guys on mute again just while I give it another blast with the hairdryer just to dry off the excess water. And then we'll assess from there. About to say welcome back, Perfection, and then I remembered I was muted. doesn't hurt. Text from 2 people. Perfect. Oh wow, that's looking fabulous, Perfection. Oh, gorgeous. Pretty, pretty, pretty. So, from Perfection, we have an update on this page. You can see the background's now entirely done, and we've got a whole bird all coloured in. Look at all that glorious glitter. It's looking gorgeous. I love the blue as well that you've chosen. Like, that's really, really quite beautiful with it. Oh, and those colours. Love the flat blue against the glitter. Yeah, it pops so beautifully. Oh, love, love, love. Thank you so much, Perfection, for sharing that with us. Welcome back. And then we have from Nith, also from Fragile World, this gorgeous page. Why are you... There we go. I love the gradient. Also, I know that the headline here says Arnie, but if you blink, that kind of looks like Amy. But I love the gradient that you're working on there. It's absolutely stunning. That background is gorgeous. Yeah. It took you 10 minutes to pick the blue. That's valid, Perfection. Thank you so much for sharing with us, Nif. That's gorgeous. You want to bring the background down into the water? Yes. That will be gorgeous as well. Welcome in, Ellie. Hello, hello. Lovely to have you back again. Alright. I think we're dry. I've definitely shrunk the pages a little bit. They've definitely been a bit saturated. It's not too bad on that side though. And it's pretty minimal on that side for transfer. Salzburger, kia ora, welcome in. Hello Raiders, how are we going today? Salzburger! What were you up to today? Make sure we shout you out. I'm doing really well, thank you. We've been doing a whole bunch of streaming today and working on a whole bunch of colouring pages. Right now we're working on this double page spread from a colouring book called Mythic World by Kirby Rose Arts. I've just been using some Inktense to do all the water and colour it all in. And for anyone that's joined us in from the raid or that's new here, kia ora, my name is Amy. I am a colourist based in Aotearoa, New Zealand. I dual stream both on YouTube and Twitch, and I stream myself colouring in adult colouring books, and we just focus on having a chill, cozy, glittery, safe little time. Call this our little glittery safety bubble on the internet where we come and escape the real world and pretend it doesn't exist for a couple hours. So you're welcome to, you know, chill, hang, lurk. A lot of people use me for co-working streams. Some people use me to fall asleep. Feel free to hang out and chat. If you need to raid and fade and do some self-care after your stream, Salzburger, or anyone that's raided in, please feel free to as well. But know that you're welcome and safe and hopefully cozy and comfy and doing good. Amy, I've grown quite the colouring book collection, Cassie. That is a side effect. Colouring time, heck yeah, Ellie. It's only your second time using Neocolor 2s? Well, you've done a fabulous job with them, Nif. It's fantastic. Right, I'm quite happy with that. Now, I know this probably looks quite subtle to you on camera, but to me in person, like, it's just enough. And I'm quite happy with it as is. Like, I don't think it actually needs all that much more in terms of the blue. So I do have a couple of areas that I want to darken up, both in the water and on the snake primarily. So luckily when I was picking up my palette, I also picked out a polychromos, so we can use that to just start tackling a couple of the areas that I want to deepen and just start darkening. So I'm going to use it on these rocks in particular to really like clean up these edges, and then a couple of the scales I'll darken, but some of them I'll actually be using different colors for. I think I also really want to pull out the deep indigo color in the polychromos, and I'll use that to deepen up some of the water. I think that'll be a bit cleaner and easier. On stream, I was working on a fantasy illustration of an ancient hybrid tree and markers on shrink film. Oh, wow. That sounds amazing, Salzburger. I'm sorry, I keep calling you Salzburger. Is it Salzburg Lisa? I'm so sorry. I keep rebranding you to Salzburg. Salzburg Lisa. It's Lisa. Is it shortened to Lisa? Is that okay? Please let me know. But also, if you have that, like, if you have some art text that you want to send through, if you want to drop a link to show us what you've been working on, or if you've got an Instagram that you want to drop, that would also be appreciated. You can... Sorry, I've been streaming for 12 hours. My brain is gone. If you got a link that you want to share, you are welcome to do so. I am so sorry. I've been streaming since 9 AM this morning and it is 9 PM. I did take like a dinner break in there, but I just felt my brain completely like halt its processes. I love that we all reset words in the same way, doing the whole blah, 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 blah. It just forces your brain to stop. It's the weekend, brain is mush. Exactly. Exactly. What is words? Words is hard. No words. Good. So yeah, it's just a little bit. No, you can absolutely just drop the link. You can absolutely just drop the link. I don't mind people dropping links when it's appropriate to the chat. If people just came in here and dropped a link, then they're gonna get banned. Because that's rude, but when I'm like chatting to you and I say, please drop the links, that is so appropriate. Ooh, that is very cool. Let me copy that link and put it onto the YouTube chat as well for you, because I do have to drop the links in YouTube before anyone tries to post a link in YouTube, because YouTube just goes no for links. I am already following you. Fantastic. Right. This is what Lisa's been talking about. Look at that. Look at all the texture and the different tones that have been put in there. It is stunning. I love, love, love all that texture and like the arms and stuff like that. And it's going to look really cool when it's shrunk down too, if you do shrink it. Yeah, it shrinks inside, it gets thicker, harder, and is less see-through. So it's going to be really exciting when it's shrunk down. I've worked on it since the video by adding more brown tones, colour to the background, and lots of vines. Yeah, it's going to be really cool. I've never thought about doing it on shrink plastic. That's really neat. Oh, that's fun. That's so cool. Thank you so much for sharing that with us too. Right. Oh yeah, I can feel my back is starting to go a little bit. So, yeah. Ooh, let's make sure we're sitting with correct posture. Especially today, because it's been a long day. This is the first time I've used an entire shrink with one big piece of artwork. Ooh. Fingers crossed that it all goes well then. It's looking really gorgeous so far. So yeah, we're just using a little bit of pencil, but it is just building a little bit of depth onto our rocks here. I'm not adding in too much, but because most of the texture and the shading was done in the Inktense, but just by like pushing a couple of bits, we're just adding just that little bit more depth to the rocks. And that's what I want to add in there. Same with that bush, we added in just a little bit of dimension. Make sure we get right along the bottom there. So yeah, now it'll be just like the little bits of picking away at it and just pushing a few elements out and adding a bit of depth. The main thing will be adding a bit of depth to the water and also to the scales. So the scales will take a bit because I'll have to find a darker colour for each rainbow colour. Because I don't want to just use black on all of them. And then I also, because right now, like there's a little bit of gradient shading, but it can be pushed a little bit like right up in here, you know, it can go like right up into the points and really clean up the shading in the points. But then there should also be darker on the sides and lighter on top. So I also need to do like a little bit of rounding on each of them. So that's where I need to figure out a color that I can shade with. I suppose I could get away with black for the shadow parts anyway. And then I could use it on the water to deepen up the edge of the water. Maybe. We'll see how much I'm willing to do. It's also when I'm like, yeah, I'm over it and don't want to do it anymore. Sometimes you reach that point where you're just like, I'm done. You don't want to touch the page. Mm-mm. The illustration I created is a recreation of a much bigger piece that was originally in acrylics on an illustration board. Ah. It's better to stop than push through and end up with something you're not happy with. Exactly, Nif. Exactly. Because I can always come back to it. Like, even if I say a piece is finished, I'm always willing to come back to it at a later date and develop it further. I was actually filling out the answers for the mid-year colouring tag, and one of the questions was, is there a piece you're not happy with? And yes, I do have a piece that I'm not happy with, and while I considered it complete, it was the Romantic Country collab piece. I considered it complete to get it in for the collab, and I'm proud of what I managed to do when I was sick and what I managed to complete on that page, but I'm going to go and rework it because I'm not happy with it overall. So I'm not considering it complete. It's the same as my Fragile Worlds collab page. I did not complete them to a level that I feel happy with. So I'm going to rework them. But I'm proud that I managed to get what I got done with how sick I was. So that's the main thing. Yeah, see, just adding in that little bit of black has just built a little bit more dimension there compared to like here. It's just that little bit more dimension. It's just a subtle amount of shading, but it makes a huge amount of difference. Zombie Amy did well with that, yeah. Yeah. She's pretty zonked. Oh, so you're actually reworking something now, Lisa. That's fantastic. Okay, black is kind of working. I don't normally do this much shading directly with black because it's a bit of a, like, you know, I want it rainbow and bright, but it does really work for all these shadows and it is adding a bit of contrast, so we'll let it be today. Plus it's a lot easier because it's, you know, only have the one colour. Yeah, so you're just adding a little bit more shading and suddenly the scales just have that little bit more dimension. Which unfortunately means I need to do it over everything. Ugh. But I'm not doing it for the scales that are under the water, because they can be blurry in less dimensions. dimensional. Because they're under the water. Okay. My stomach is also starting to hurt a bit, guys, so that's a pretty clear signal to me that I'm going to have to end soon. For those that don't know, I'm 1 week post-op, and I can feel my stomach is starting to get a little on the tender side, so I will need to aim for another half hour, then we'll be at 2.5 hours, and I think that's a good amount of stream. But just giving you a warning now that we're going to be starting to wind down. 2.5 hours for the second stream, but, you know, we're at... I don't even know at this point. It'll be 13 hours all up. I'm just picking away at some of the areas with the shadowing and stuff like that. Boat can be a bit darker because there would be a darker shadow around the boat. Thank you, Lively. We love a good rainbow coloured page here. You're doing well considering, yeah. Yeah, it's been a good day and we've done a lot. I mean, I could almost just call this completed here at this stage. Like, you know, anything I do now is just bonus work on it really, but I could also just call it done at any point. Because I'm actually really happy with how it's looking as is. And I've still got the boat to do. So it's not done because I've still got the boat. But I'm going to do that in pencils. But I'm going to do that on a different day when I'm a little bit more concentrated, you know. Right now we'll do a bit more shading. It's just nice to get some more work done on this page too. This is the one that I started with Winter on our collab hang. You did complete 9 pages today. That's true. That is true. It's been a very productive day. And I'm very happy with the progress of this one so far too. Well, you coloured 9 pages in one day? Yeah. Yeah, I kind of had a chaos day today. again, I've been, like, this is the second stream today. I took a 2-hour dinner break, but I've been streaming for 13 hours now, basically. So, yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's been a chaos colouring day. They were a lot simpler than this page, though. This one is a little bit more complicated. Oh, Piso! I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Hi from Tamaki Marakuro. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. My Tadeo is not very good. I've been trying my best. But it's lovely to meet another Kiwi. Tuning of my friend ACRMC, who is trying to get me into colouring. Ooh, yay! We love colouring. Yes, you're in the right spot then, because we're big fans of colouring here. If you have any questions relating to colouring, particularly in Aotearoa, feel free to hit me up, because I will, oh my gosh, I will help you out as best as I can. I adore colouring. I am a streamer of colouring. It is what I do. I do stream colouring 90% of the time. Occasionally I'll play a video game, but 90% of the time we're doing colouring. And yeah, if you want like where to find books and tips and that, though, if you've already got a friend who's into colouring, then you might have a friend who will be able to hook you up as well. But welcome in, kia ora. Yay, it's another Kiwi! Slowly collecting the Kiwis. We also appreciate the non-Kiwis. But yes, we've been working on this double page spread for a while. Ooh, this one is by an illustrator called Kirby Rosans in the colouring book Mythic World. So far I've used a mixture of Inktense, a little bit of Albert Duras, which are both water-soluble pencils, and now I'm using a Polychromos just to deepen some of the shading and the shadowing, and just pick at different bits and pieces. I do need to technically get another colour, but I'm being lazy and don't want to stand up and get my pencil case, because it's also very heavy and it's going to be a pain in the butt to lift up. But yes, you've joined us towards the end of stream, unfortunately. I know it says I've only been live for about 2 hours, but I've actually been live since about 9 AM this morning. So I am going to be wrapping up stream relatively soon, unfortunately. But you're welcome to, of course, follow me here. I also stream on YouTube, and I have a YouTube channel where I talk a lot about colouring and stuff too. So if you'd like to, you know, follow that one too, you're welcome to. You don't have to do a thing. You don't have to follow me. We're very chill and cozy here, as is the time with most colouring. Update, the white kind of worked. Not fully, but I will take it. Yay, Ada, that's fantastic. It's fantastic to hear. I'm so glad. And it might be like after, like you might be able to work another layer of it to lighten it even more. It might be enough that you can work over it with pencils, or you might just be happy with it as is. But yeah, as you said, it's not fully done, but it's a step. And at least it's progress on a page that you were stuck on. So that's awesome. You just seen art text progress? Ooh, let's see how you're going, Nif. Oh, that's beautiful. It's looking gorgeous. I love the blue and pink in the water. So we've had an update to the water down here. And you can see all that beautiful purpley with the pinks. And now we're getting into the blues. It's gorgeous, Nif. That's looking fantastic. Love how that's coming together. Love, love, love. Thank you so much for sharing with us once again. So yeah, as I said, I'm live on both YouTube and Twitch, so you may hear me responding to someone and you're like, I don't see that chat. The chat above me on screen combines both chats together. Emeka Tavori? I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Please let me know if I'm not pronouncing that right. But welcome in. Thank you so much. Kia ora. I am unfortunately quite terrible with names. I do my best, but if at any point I am mispronouncing your name, please, please, please feel free to correct me. Emma's fine. Perfect. M I can pronounce. It's okay. I often talk about the fact that my name, because my spelling of Amy is quite unique. Well, it's not unique. It's actually the French way to say Amy. It's Aimé, and it means friend. But because of it, I'm often misspelt Amy, which is absolutely fine. I'm very used to it. Or because it's an M, it's often misread as two N's, so I get Annie a lot as well, which cracks me up. But then the one that really cracks me up is when I'm on Twitch, my name is Amy Ward Art. The amount of times Amy Ward Art has been misread as Anime Ward Art. And I'm like, well, Anime Ward Arts are, I guess, what pencils are when they're really, really sharp. But yeah, it's happened 3 separate times where I've been called Anime Ward Art by 3 separate peoples, even with the capitalization of my name. And I'm like, yep, okay, I'll take it. I'll take it. You always get Casey? Oh, well, we know you're Cassie. Cassie, Cassie, Cassie. And we adore you. But yes, we are working in a colouring book by Kirby Rozans called Mythic World. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous colouring book. Kirby Rozans is one of my favourite illustrators. And I've used a mixture of Inktense and Albert Dürer pencils, which are both water-soluble pencils, to colour in everything. And now I'm using a Polychromos pencil just to deepen up some of the shadows and the shading, and just pick away at a few different bits and pieces. Can put some under the head, because that would definitely, I feel like the head's raised up a bit and it would definitely be casting a bit of a shadow. I do want to pull out the like indigo blue to deepen those shadows. You get perfect insider. Oh, instead of perfection cider. Names are funny like that. Hi, Jasmine. Hello, hello. Kia ora. Oh. Alright. I'm starting to stare into the void. Oh. I think I'm done with this one for now. I just think I'm done with this one for now. I don't want to push myself to do more. When it's like not in the mood. But we've done so much today, so it's like, oh, I'm stiff. Oh, and I don't like bending down. Ooh. So that page is like almost complete, to be honest. And then as well as that, we did this page here from Capybara Cuties. We did our Noodles page. Where's our watermelon? Oh, we started the teacups. That was the one that I stopped when I was making dinner. This is our watermelon page. It needs bookmark. Oof. Watermelon strawberry page. So that's the pages we did in Capybara Cuties. And then in the 50 Zodiac themed miniatures, we did the Chibi Gemini page. The Noodles page is my absolute favourite. And we did this Chibi Cancer page. I'm telling you, when I say I've had a productive day, I mean I've had a productive day. Then we did this Tiger page. Loving the metallics. Yeah, that is the Super Golden metallic paint pens. Are just like beautiful, shimmery. I didn't quite get to the rabbit page, but that's okay. We did 3 in Zodiac themed miniatures. And then in Matchstick Mouse, we did the Bun Buns. Oh, that's my voice going. I love the little Bun Buns with the little Matchstick Mouse. The cow I'd already done previously. We did the Lamb, which I think is my favourite. So it's hard to pick in this book because they're all so cute. And then we did Matchstick Mouse dancing in the cherry blossoms. And if you are somebody who's wanting to get into colouring but doesn't know where to start, the illustrator Morgan O'Brien is one of those illustrators that I really recommend, because his Ko-fi store has free colouring books, entire free colouring books, as well as a ton of freebies that you can get. But really do recommend his Ko-fi store. I'm just gonna copy the link for y'all. So if you're like, I want to do some colouring but I don't have a colouring book, if you've got access to a printer, and so this here, so he's just released this free little page here, which is super duper cute. But yeah, you can see there's a Christmas page here. The books themselves aren't much, like £4 for a book. But then if you scroll down here, you keep scrolling down, you'll see a book here called Welcome to the Village. This is an Animal Crossing inspired colouring book here. And you can see it's free. It's a free digital download. 30 colouring pages. All inspired by Animal Crossing. And you can see a whole bunch of freebie pages here. And then you look down here and look. The Way Home, a galactic colouring book inspired by Baby Yoda. Again, 30 pages for free. And then you keep scrolling down. Welcome to the Forest, Welcome to the Island, both free. More Animal Crossing inspired ones. Sorry, I think I called Welcome to the Village is also Animal Crossing. But yeah, absolutely, like so many colouring books for free, so many pages for free. So if you're wanting to get into colouring, this is a fabulous place to start. I also love my Any Day. It's my favourite. But yeah. All super cute. I do need to download these Welcome to the Animal Crossing ones. But yeah, so that's everything that I've been up to today. As I said, I have been streaming for now well over 12 hours. We're coming up 13 hours and I feel very, very shot, tired and sore. I was planning to carry on for a bit longer, but my stitches from my surgery are actually, like, I'm feeling a little bit of pain around my stomach, so I think it's time to go and stretch out and look after myself. Thank you for the follow. So yes, if you're not already following, I do encourage you to press that follow. I do stream at random times. I am trying my best to establish streaming on Fridays at 9 AM New Zealand time. However, my Fridays keep on getting filled up with stuff, so yeah, I do tend to stream at random times. Your best bet is to follow for the notifications in the Discord. On my Instagram is also where I always post when I'm going live in my stories, and hitting that follow and turning the bell on so you get notifications. If you're watching this on YouTube on the VOD, thank you so much for being part of the VOD crew. I appreciate you all catching up with it, and yeah, I hope you've all had a wonderful, wonderful time here today. All the araha to you all. Take care. I will see you again when I see you again. Tēnā koutou katoa. And look after yourself. Appreciate you all. Bye. Where's my buttons? I can never find my buttons. There's my buttons.